Hi, Bio. I'm here to answer one of the questions from the assignment a few weeks ago. A bunch of you asked, how is it that we've all evolved from a common ancestor? What is a common ancestor? What's the common ancestor that humans have with apes? There were a bunch of questions about this, and so I wanted to just go over that topic. So first, to clarify, what is a common ancestor? So here we are, humans, and these are some animals that are closely related to us, meaning we have very similar DNA. And that means that our common ancestor was around not that long ago, speaking on the course of all of Earth's history. So what this chart is showing us is not that we evolved from chimpanzees. We did not. We did not evolve from chimpanzees, but we share a common ancestor with chimpanzees about 6 million or so years ago. We don't know the exact amount, but roughly the ballpark of 6 million years ago that we had a common ancestor with chimpanzees. And that animal that was our common ancestor that branched off to become later us and to become chimpanzees in modern day, this animal, our common ancestor, would look not exactly like chimpanzees or exactly like humans. It would look like something in between, maybe. And fossil evidence shows that maybe it looked a little bit like a bonobo, like this guy. Or, sorry, this is a gibbon. Maybe it looked a little like a gibbon. Maybe it looked a little bit like this, so more gorilla-like. We don't actually know exactly what it looked like, but maybe if you think like some merge of these two images, this is what scientists are thinking. And that's what our common ancestor would look like. So again, we did not evolve from chimpanzees. It's that chimpanzees and us, we have a common ancestor that was relatively recent. 6 million years ago on the scale of Earth's history is actually relatively recent. And then if we think common ancestor for all of life, so these sorts of charts help us see that. So if we look at all of life, bacteria, plants, animals, right? So like this would be a chart that's showing in brief summary all of life, and here we would be animals. This is showing that we're all evolved from one original common ancestor. And we can start to think about what that common ancestor might look like by thinking, what would it have to be in order to branch off to form all of these different types of living things? And if it has to branch off to form bacteria as well as us, we have to think, what do we and bacteria have in common? Well, we're all made of cells. And so then we can start to use that to think about, what's this common ancestor? Well, it probably was a single-celled organism, and it had some very basic things. It had DNA, because we know that all living things have DNA. It had a cell membrane. It had ribosomes, or something like ribosomes. It was able to copy its DNA. It was able to copy itself, so do something like mitosis. It was able to make proteins, so do something like transcription and translation. And that is actually what has been used as evidence for this. So if we think those are the things that would have to be in common, well, they've actually done studies to look into that, and they found that there are 23 proteins that all species share. And those 23 proteins, the chances that all species would share these 23 proteins, these are 23 proteins that are involved in all of those fundamental processes, like I was just talking about, DNA replication, transcription, translation, those things that we've learned about throughout this year. Those 23 universal proteins, the chances that they would independently evolve in all these different types of organisms, right? Like independently, that's an incredibly small chance. Instead, it's much, much more likely that the common ancestor, billions of years ago, had those 23 proteins because they were fundamental to life. And then as we branched off, we all retained those 23 proteins, maybe made slight adjustments to them, but we retained them and then added new different things that made us all so different from each other, right? That made plants so different from bacteria. But we all share these 23 universal proteins because we've all evolved from a common ancestor. And if you want to learn more about this, because there's so much more to learn, it's really cool. I've included some quotes here you can read, but I've also included some links to 4 articles that are totally accessible for you guys. One about just the origin of life on Earth, one about evidence for these, like the research study that was done about these 23 universal proteins, and then 2 about the common ancestor between us and chimpanzees. Okay, miss you guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Bye.